Alright, so I'm back with some more Tower of Fantasy. Just some random stuff that I'm doing. I found what looks to be a some sort of base building. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, if you're on control, you're going to want to press L1 and then go over here to those cross swords. And then you're going to want to go all the way down to casual and over until you see artificial island construction, and then just press that. And then you're going to start out here on this landing pad, and before you do anything, you're going to want to come all the way down here, and there should be a blue diamond where this guy is right here, and you're going to want to talk to him. There is no voice acting. And you just go down around the different buildings. I haven't built any of these yet, but it looks like it's just constructing, or just so you go here and you put materials in, and it upgrades. So there's the base upgrade to build it. I'm building it right now, so it takes no materials to build. And you can see a building, and so you just go around and you. That was loud. Just construct stuff. This looks really nice. I've always liked the graphics for Tower of Fantasy. Compared to games like no, that takes 100. Okay. Like games like Honkai Star Rail have a little bit more detail that they add to things, but frankly, yeah, I would be playing Honkai Star Rail. I would, but yeah, so it looks like the first construction is free, and then you just pick one, and every other construction after that is based on materials. So, well, I am here. I did want to show some AFK elements to the game that they've added. Where you can open up, let's say you open up the map, and off to the corner right here, there would be spots to add characters on different parts of different planets and stuff you've already been to, and you can put them there, and they will basically farm resources. Some of them will even get the special what's it called? The special stuff for the gacha mechanic. The red, yellow, and purple balls. So there's ways to get free pulls and stuff. It isn't completely pay to win. It may feel like that though, because some of the trials that you have do seem like they need a certain character, which they do. But I'm guessing if you play through the story normally, that you get characters that could do that. But I didn't. I like to explore, so if you want to take time to play the game, then yeah, I would say explore. But just playing through the story normally will get you characters that you need to do stuff, and then when you go back and clear the rest of the stuff that you did, or that you missed, like the side missions and all that, then I would say that's probably a better idea. Some of these side missions you want to do because I think they have an impact on the story directly, how like different outcomes, or it may give you certain materials. It looks like that's all I can do. Let me get a better view. it's not a big area, as you can see, but that's the building mechanic, and I think this building's done now, so I'm just gonna hurry up there. This will be posted to my Twitter. Yeah, let's see what this does now. Because frankly, I'm getting more traffic on my Twitter. For me, it's easier than YouTube. I mean, unless it's something really popular, but I felt like I have played popular stuff and it just doesn't do well. And it's very hard for me to figure out what does do well. Versus Twitter, it's a lot more. It feels like it's a lot more reliable. Like I can rely on between 100 to 200 views on Twitter, and maybe even more. Whereas on YouTube, it's just a lot more people. Twitter. Oh, okay, so you have pets. Twitter got rid of a lot of just a lot of content creators, people who used to stream back when it was Twitter before it was X. Did the same thing on Facebook. It's just a lot of those platforms got rid of their creators, and so it doesn't feel like there's as much competition. So, despite what you may think about Musk, that's nice. I think he's doing a better job than previous owners. So you have upgrade time. I like it. The first upgrade only takes a couple seconds. So you can do this, go off and do other stuff in the game. It looks like I can have 2 more. So let's go for the and then you can just sort of see it build in real time. It sounds not too bad either. I think it's sort of like ASMR. I do some ASMR content. I really haven't done much as far as that's concerned. Okay, also if there are any new players for this game, when you see this sort of like symbol on the map, I'm covering it. Like the pyramid looking symbol, that thing. You always want to activate those. It takes nothing to activate them. And it works towards discovery progress of the map. And what it will do is now I can teleport. I can teleport here. And now it's yellow. And that's a good way to see the game. It's just mark these on the map, and you will find hidden things and just missions just by doing that. The first zone is good to explore because the enemies aren't too hard. You sort of level up through that zone. But the other ones, there are other ones that can be a little more difficult. I'd say the desert zone is still fairly easy, but both areas are reliant on getting characters that can do the special challenges. So if you're wanting to wait, it is beneficial to get these because as you do just basic story missions through the different levels, you're going to have to walk, and it takes a lot less time to just teleport places. You do find less resources though, but with the AFK mode that they have, it does seem like resources it's not as much of a problem as it could be. Excuse me. Good old-fashioned acid reflux. Away, bastard. I mean, yeah. HSR is nice. Like I said, I enjoyed it. If they were to get rid of the Trailblaze system, I don't know if I would go back to it still. Because it's just so much. So much to do. And it feels like it's easy to get off, off the path real quickly. Like there's so much limited stuff that they want, like that you can do, and that people want to check out, and it's sort of like, well, now I'm either over leveled or I don't know where I was. Whereas in games like Tower of Fantasy, you sort of like, it feels like it's a little more linear. I get the feeling from this that I get from Minecraft. It's sort of like you put it on in the background and you just explore, just chill out. Put a podcast on, put a stream on. And you can play with other people, by all means. Yeah, something for the YouTube thumbnail. But by all means, you can play with other people, or you can play by yourself. There's so many games that I played that just, it feels like you're punished for playing solo, and there are a lot of people nowadays that just play solo that, people can say our generation is a lot less social than it was. But I will also say that there are a lot of people that have been burned. That just, you play a game with friends, and let's say you have a falling out with those people, or people just get busy, people get older, or just things happen, and the group isn't playing anymore, and so you're relying on a group that isn't around. Sort of my philosophy is, and other people might feel this way, is if you can play by yourself, then you can be a really good team member, right? If everybody could do this individually, then as a team, you are much stronger, and instead of focusing on sweating and having to try hard, you can actually focus on having fun. Yeah, you can, bullshit about stuff or just hot dog around. Just it's also relaxing because for me this is I'm not able to get out much. I think for people like me, or people who may have anxiety issues, just don't like being out around people. Games like this is like, this is the walk in the woods. People say go on touch grass. Okay, yeah. Screw around, look for stuff. And it's just in general, and gaming as a whole has been sort of like taken over. People say streaming culture. I would say, people can do what they want, but not everything has to be an esport. Not everything should be taken so seriously. But unfortunately, it seems like there, at least for a while, were personalities that, you're obnoxious, you get watched. And it does feel like, thank God, with how easy things are to film, anybody could. Most computers, like I said in my other videos, have built-in recording software. It used to be you'd have to get a capture card, you'd have to get some sort of sound equipment, and, set up like a DJ setup. And now it's like everything is on. PlayStation has it. I don't know what it's like on Switch. I'm sure Xbox has the same thing that PlayStation does. And you just record, and it's I would say sort of lockdown helped with that in a way. I'm sure it was shitty, and as far as from a job standpoint, but as far as a internet community, I feel like we put up with a lot less shit, and we tend to appreciate the peace and quiet that we do have. If you're going to be a tourist, it's fine. It looks like I need to go here. But don't. How far am I? Okay. but don't you know, don't. What's a nice way of putting it, right? If you have politics, right? If you are intimidated, you know, by how big cartoon characters' breasts are, or you feel like it's somehow body shaming you, you don't belong in that community, and the community will let you know, and the people making the product will let you know. But if you're just, you know, going to play, if you're a streamer or just a normal person coming from their job or school, enjoy it. You know, it's just I'm sure plenty of people would be glad to have you there. You know, I can take a shortcut. For sake of time, let's see if there is one. Yes, let's go here. And just like that, it's that easy. I do think that some men treat games and characters differently than some women do. Where a man would see a jacked dude, or like coming from Halo, right? I used to play Halo as a kid, and it's like, man, I'm not intimidated by Master Chief. I want to be that fucking soul like every kid did, or like Conan the Barbarian and stuff. But like, some women just see an attractive, you know. Sure, there's, you know, unrealistic, and then there's, if it was unrealistic to be as attractive as, let's say, cartoon video game character, I'll just say that, then people wouldn't really be that interested in it. But given the fact that people can look like that in real life, like cosplayers and shit, all the cosplayers you have for games with skimpier looking characters, you know, stuff like those girls and guys can pull it off. So obviously it's not a problem. You know, it's like the group of girls I'm talking about is like, they wanna, if you spent time complaining about an attractive looking video game character, actually making yourself look that attractive, it wouldn't be a problem. You know? But it's different with the guys. Twinks know they're twinks. There are men that know that no matter how much they do, they can't, you know, they can't build muscle. They're comfortable with that, right? But for some reason, it's just, for the girls out there, it's a threat. It's like, no. And God forbid those same women get into video game design. It's like, you are using your platform to make ugly looking characters because that's somehow easier. Getting a job to do that is somehow easier than going to the gym or not, you know, eating a bunch of garbage. Right? If those same women want men to take the time to look attractive, then why not? You know, why not take the same time to make themselves look attractive? And maybe video game characters wouldn't be a problem, right? Maybe if there wasn't a lack going on either side, then maybe, you know, young girls and women wouldn't be looking at Conan, and maybe, you know, young men wouldn't be looking at Honkai Star Rail characters. They'd be going out and getting the real thing. Anyway, that's all right. You know, on a smaller side note, I would say that, I don't know, people, I've heard people talk about the turn-based combat in HSR. I liked it. Personally, I'm a fan of turn-based combat. Right? It's like, there's more you can do with it. I'd rather have, I'm just gonna say this, I'd rather have really good turn-based combat than mediocre live-action combat. And the combat for Tower of Fantasy is fun. It just can be on controller a little bit tedious. And I would say that HSR by far has the better user interface for controller users. Tower is sort of a learning experience. Accessory materials. So this looks like it's a secondary way to get stuff for cosmetics rather than having to buy it or do tedious farming, which is nice. You know, I always think there should be a lot more ways to get things in a game than just buying it. Even if it does feel like they're losing money, goodwill can go a lot farther than an immediate purchase. Just because someone makes an immediate purchase doesn't mean they want to. And it's better to have someone want to make that purchase than not. This looks like it's a way to get joint supply chip is a way to get better rewards from joint missions with other people. I do believe you can
Whew. So tired. I need someone flat to lie on.
Smart servants. So it looks like you have to get these guys to do stuff? Or you already have some? Go to the exchange store to purchase fire cores. Okay. I do like the wording in tower. I feel like it's it's a lot more it's less pretentious. It seems like some games like HSR can get into the pretentious category. Or maybe it's just me. Like especially for items, I don't feel like having reading a paragraph for a name of an item, even if it's just a generic name, right? There is a. I'm just gonna see if there's any more of this story that I need to do because I don't want to make this video too long. Alright, the story's over.